And whenever the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, David took the lyre and played it with his hand, and Saul would be relieved and feel better, and the evil spirit would depart from him. One of the earliest passages about music in the Old Testament is 1 Samuel 16, verse 14 through 23, which I just read to you. David, with his lyre, single-handedly banishes an evil spirit from Saul. David's music, like a salve for the soul, heals and comforts Saul in a distressing time. Many of us personally know the healing powers of music. Many of us have witnessed music miraculously touching the lives of others. Maybe you have seen, in the eyes of an Alzheimer's patient, the light when they hear a favorite hymn. Just this past year, before my great-grandmother passed away, I paid her a visit in her Alzheimer's assisted living home. Her memory flickered on and off. She would tell me jokes and stories, but then a couple minutes later not know even where she was. And so at one point I suggested we go down to the dining hall and play the grand piano. She really wanted to hear me play, so I sight read some pieces out of a piano book I had brought, but I hope that I never forget what happened next. We switched places so that she could try playing some hymns, and with no sheet music at all, these beautiful full chords flowed from her long fingertips. Then she started to sing all the words from memory. This was a really special moment for me, both because I was with my grandmother in her last days to witness her making music, and also because of the wonders of music, the power that it has. But there is a flip side to this comfort thing. Comforting music can be hypnotic and addicting, which can bring churchgoers back to worship week after week. That could be a good thing, right? Or maybe not. Sometimes when we give people what they want, what makes them feel good, over and over again, we actually do them a big disservice because they become content. And contentedness, it is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can lead to complacency. And complacency is the enemy of our spiritual growth, because by definition, we don't make progress when we keep things the same. We can also become entitled when we get too much of what we want. For example, if you give a congregation their favorite hymns for an entire year, and then at the end you throw in a new song, prepare for battle. It's going to be difficult. So we should comfort our churches musically when appropriate, but we also ought to avoid encouraging complacency and entitlement by keeping things the same and sustaining comfort for too long. Before you move on to the next lesson, let us know in the comments how music has comforted you or a loved one or friend in the past. So after that, click next.